Happy Patriots Day, everybody. Let's talk about that. Welcome to the Patriot Training YouTube channel. My name is Clay Howell. I am the owner and head firearms instructor at Patriot Training. The purpose of this video is to celebrate the 250th Patriots Day.
You said Patriot!
Yes, Uncle Brandon. Patriot, as in somebody who loves and supports his country. While we celebrate more in America Independence Day, the birthday of America, on July 4th, based on the Declaration of Independence, which was issued and proclaimed on July 4th, 1776, that's not when we actually started fighting the British for our independence. The events of Patriots Day, April 19th, 1775, are not taught well, if at all, in so many of our schools. Yet, these events are of prime importance for our country. The night before, the evening of April 18th, 1775, a fellow you've heard of, Paul Revere, rode along with Samuel Prescott and William Dawes, and they rode out to warn the colonists near Boston, Lexington, and Concord of the impending attack from the British regulars. British General Gage had sent out 700 regular British Army soldiers to confiscate ball, powder, and weapons from the people at Lexington, Massachusetts. On the morning of April 19th, 1775, Captain John Parker, who had been elected captain of his local militia, he was 45 years old, and he led a small band of militiamen to stand against the Redcoats, who came to confiscate the firearms. Parker was dying of tuberculosis at the time. Although there were 700 Redcoats, there were only about 75 or so militiamen, and as the story goes, there were only 9 last names. These were brothers, uncles, cousins, people who knew one another. Parker was noted as quoting that famous line, "Stand your ground, men, don't fire unless fired upon, but if they mean to have a war, let it begin here."
Move! Hey, Caleb. Move! Stay in your gun.
Although the militia were forced to break contact at that time, Parker led them to attack later in the day in Boston in an ambush that we now call Parker's Revenge. During this day, Patriots Day, April 19th, 1775, there were many heroes. Among them, there were also a few dangerous old men like Hezekiah Wyman, who was known as Death on a Pale Horse. Men like Samuel Whittemore, who was age 78 at the time. At Patriot Training, these are some of the most requested stories that we tell during lunchtime of rifle classes. And if you've attended, you know why. And if you haven't attended, you need to come to the class. It's worth the price of admission just to hear about these dangerous old men. My friends over at the Appleseed Project will tell you about the events of these days. They talk about the 3 strikes of the match that happened there on April 19th, 1775, and how we went from playing defense to playing offense, how the war really started. At Patriot Training, we celebrate these events because without these riflemen of old, America would never have been born. Today, we need more riflemen to maintain the freedom that was secured by the actions of these men 250 years ago. Patriot Training remains dedicated to train up just such riflemen.